So how do you guys find yourselves balancing, work with all your other obligations and activities?
I definitely have to have my planner and have to have everything straightened out, like organized, what times I'm doing things, so I can be balanced.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I definitely have everything put in a couple of places so I don't forget, like the planner, the computer planner, the cell phone, reminding myself where I have to be at what time.
Like if I know I have to be somewhere at a certain time, like I have to be at work, I put it in a calendar somewhere, but then I'm like, okay, everything else can just fall around it. If it ever gets to the point where I'm really busy, that's when I start like getting serious and I'm like, oh man, I gotta schedule this, maybe I should plan this out a little bit better. But otherwise I kind of just go with the flow with it.
If I had like a calc test, the next day I knew I needed probably the whole night to study for it. So I would just request off of work. And the thing with that is you need to have, for my job at least, you need to have 2 weeks to request off a day. So I mean, that's just all part of knowing, what's going on around you in the bigger scope and looking a few weeks ahead of time just to plan out your time a little better. So, as Christians, our work habits need to reflect our relationship with God.
In the way that we treat people and manage our responsibilities.
Next, Christina discusses the importance of time management.
And how her relationship with God has enabled her to perform better in her work.
You want to be very careful to manage your time. So you want to make sure that you can schedule your work, your extracurriculars, and your homework so that nothing is being neglected, especially your schoolwork, because in high school, your schoolwork should be most important. Just be nice to everyone, be nice to all your coworkers, your managers. It doesn't hurt to be liked in the place where you work. I think as a Christian, you need to be polite and very nice and accepting of everyone around you, and just live your beliefs wherever you are. So that totally applies in the workplace. My faith has helped me become a better employee as I strive to follow, what Jesus did as he went through his life helping people and basically being a good person. I try to follow that at my job and in my life. Like, my faith has taught me to treat everyone equally regardless of what they look like, what kind of person they are. So when I'm at the restaurant and I have 2 tables, no matter who they are, I try and treat them equally and give them the same service. Obviously, when you're looking for a job, praying to God for guidance as to what kind of job you want and where you want to work is a good idea. And once you found the job that you want, for me at least, I pray for patience a lot. I pray for understanding as I'm serving the tables. Sometimes people are rude or they're demanding. When I quit my first job at that pottery place, I spent a lot of time praying about it because I was young. I'd never had any experience quitting a job before, and I felt really bad about it. But at the same time, I was unhappy with my job. And once I decided that I was going to quit, I spent a lot of time in prayer again. How should I quit? I want to be polite and leave on good terms, but at the same time, I need to be firm about it.
It sounds like having Jesus as a role model and remembering to pray and keep God in your life sounds like something really important, because holding a job isn't always easy.
Right, exactly. And meeting the demands of a boss or dealing with a customer who is rude can be stressful.
But as Christina shared with us, it's always important to remain patient and composed in such situations.
And to pray to God for his guidance when deciding whether to take the next step.
So does your faith help you to be a better employee?
That's what we asked the teens on the street.
Let's check it out.
Does your faith or relationship with God help you to be a better employee?
Of course it does. I believe in God 24/7 of the day.
Well, I think my relationship with God does help me be a better employee. I feel like it gives me better morals.
My faith and relationship with God would help me to be a better employee so that, because I can glorify him more and just grow more in him.
I don't really think of it as that deeply, that would constitute me to bring in my faith into the situation.
Have better work ethics, I guess. Nicer person. Better tips.
Faith would help me believe more in myself, being an employee.
Helps me, think clearly and do the right thing, and just be a better person.
What about you guys? What do you think?
Well, God definitely gives me patience, and I pray for it because I babysit before I go babysitting, because you're dealing with little kids and you need a lot of patience.
Yeah, once at work, I made a really bad mistake, and I didn't really tell any of the managers clearly what happened, But the next day, my boss pulls me over, and she was like, can you just tell me what happened? And I was really scared, and I didn't want to tell her the whole truth. But something in my head was like, just tell her. And I did. And she looks at me, and she's like, listen, if it was anyone else in any other situation, I would have fired them. But you were honest, and I like you, so I'm going to let you keep your job. Just make sure you're careful next time.
So just all those little qualities that we learn through our faith, like honesty and living with integrity, those really help you in the workplace. And also living with a servant's heart.
At my retail job, you get 10% for opening up a credit card. And I'm sure it's most like that at most other department stores, but you know, sometimes your managers are like, hey, we really need you to open up these credit cards, do whatever you need to do to get those credit cards. But when you're talking to somebody, I mean, and they really, really want the 10%, and you know they'll do it if you push them to do it, but what happens if they don't get approved for their card? Their credit score goes down. So I mean, is it really worth it to kind of just to put, oh, I got 2 credit cards today, or is it just hey, it's fine, don't worry about it, just, you know, you're not going to get it anyway if you don't get approved, and it's just going to hurt you later down the road. So those kind of ethical questions and decisions are kind of, I mean, they just come across in normal work experiences, and we kind of just have to learn to leap over them and just take the next bigger step and in faith, not selfishness, I guess.
Yeah, I totally understand what you mean, because I pray to be able to make good decisions, so I don't just have my job to be making money, but to be happy in the long run.
Being the nephew of the boss gives me a sense of power, so I feel that I'm allowed to distribute my jobs and give them to other people, and they can get done quicker, but I know that what I want to get done is different than what I should be doing by myself. And my faith really helps me to realize that.
How we conduct ourselves in work says a lot about who we are to our customers, coworkers, and employers.
Our Christian faith motivates us to perform our jobs with respect, honesty, and diligence.
All the desirable traits of a good employee.
Is your faith a guide in holding a job?
We'd love to hear from you. Contact us through our website.
The address is www.realfaithtv.com.
Or you can call us at 609-406-7402.
And we'll leave you today with this final thought.
Work is more than a way to make a living.
It has been described as a form of continuing participation in God's act of creation.
So take pride in a job well done.
And let your work reflect your Christian values.
Thanks for watching.
We'll see you next time on
Real Faith TV. God bless.